Today's episode is brought to you by Function of Beauty.
Function of Beauty is the world leader in fully customized hair care. They create your unique formula based on a short but thorough quiz to give your hair everything it needs to look and feel its absolute best. Every product is sulfate-free and paraben-free, vegan, cruelty-free, and there are over 60,000 real 5-star customer reviews. I personally did a melon scent for my shampoo and conditioner, and I got it in a light green color, kind of like a sea foamy green. Taryne, what colors did you do?
Mine's like a cool, like orangey, corally type color.
And the reason Taryne and I love it the most, if I'm going to be honest, is because the bottles have our names on it.
Yeah.
She can't steal mine. I can't steal hers. So basically, you just get to turn your beauty routine into an aromatherapy session.
Go to functionofbeauty.com/advice to take your quiz and save 20% off your first order. That applies to their full range of customized hair, skin, and body products. That's functionofbeauty.com/advice to let them know you heard about it here and to get 20% off your order. functionofbeauty.com/advice. Today's episode is brought to you by Daily Harvest.
If you guys don't know what it is, let me tell you. Daily Harvest delivers delicious food, all built on organic fruits and vegetables right to your door. It takes literally minutes to prepare, and I never have to think twice if the food I'm eating is good for me. Daily Harvest is ready when you are. Everything stays fresh in your freezer until you're ready to enjoy it, so you waste less food. And the reason Taryne and I love Daily Harvest is because it is also committed to minimizing their environmental impact. They're in the process of transitioning to 100% compostable, recyclable, plant-based, and renewable fiber packaging, which is incredible. Like all of those things, incredible. Good for them.
So get started today by going to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code ADVICE to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code ADVICE for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. dailyharvest.com. Okay, to continue on with Taryne's facts or fiction.
Facts or fiction?
Because
is that the new title of the every intro? Fact or fiction?
Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, maybe people should like comment and be like, yeah, that was a fact.
It's a fact or it's fiction.
You know, on TikTok where it's like fact or cap. We're hip. So apparently there's a word, a technical name for the fear of long words. And I'm going to make
fear.
Yeah. Fear of long words.
Like being scared to say a long word.
Like a long word just freaks you out.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain. I'm afraid of pickles. There's no explanation.
No. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to put myself. You don't know what I'm thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
I was trying to put myself in a position. Like, why would I be scared?
Okay, but you have to read this word.
I have to read it?
This is the fear of long words word.
That's the word?
Read it out.
Oh my God. It's called hippopotamonstrosecquipedaliophia. Someone was like, I'm going to piss these people off. Because like, if you have an actual fear, then when you tell people what your fear is, you have to say that word.
And that's on live, mama. Okay. I want to hear how off you were. What do you give yourself? Like your guess?
I'm going to give myself a solid 6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Hippopotamonstrosis
You got an F.
Oh no.
That was for sure an F.
More like a 2. I got the hippo right.
You got
hippopotamonstrosi it's the esquipedaliophia.
I hope someone listening right now actually has that fear and is just like cringing. Anyways,
do you have any phobias?
Hi, here. Welcome to our podcast.
Do you have phobias?
Pickles, and I don't think anything like. There's things that give me like the chills, kind of, but I don't think any of it is to a point where I'm like, I have to avoid it. You know?
Yeah. I don't
like
think I have
sound
anything.
Of styrofoam, like people grinding their teeth.
I know I have which I think all humans do, the like trichtophobia with like a lot of holes.
I don't really understand that one.
That really bothers me. I can't look at it. And then I think I have a slight height thing. Whenever I'm like on the edge of something, my whole body goes
same.
weird, but
literally
not
same.
Crazy. Like not where I would say it's a phobia. I would say that's natural.
Yeah.
That's my body saying,
it's fear.
Get to higher ground.
Your body gives great advice.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. What happened?
Something fell. It's fine. Ash, keep going. We're professionals.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. It's Ashley over here, Taryne over there. And as per usual, we are here to discuss all of your guys' life stories, situations, funny experiences, awkward situations.
Yeah.
All the deep, dark stuff
all
as
the
well.
Things. Yeah.
Period.
We're here to talk about life and everything it has to offer.
Yeah. That's what we do best.
I have a Tearing It Up.
Yeah, you do.
And it's funny. I've shared, I'm pretty positive I've shared my version of this Tearing It Up on here before.
Good.
But I had a very similar circumstance happen. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, I would like to stay anonymous, but I absolutely love the pod and you guys.
We love you too.
We do love you. This is an amazingly embarrassing instance that happened to my friend. Last week's Tearing It Up reminded me of this story. Did I talk about it last week? Wow, I'm having a weird deja vu. I don't know. Okay, so this takes place freshman year of high school at the homecoming dance. We'll call my friend Maggie. So Maggie and I had been dancing and getting our groove on all night long and have been having a great time. Near the end of the night, a sort of mosh pit had formed in the middle of the room. So of course we were deep inside it. I don't know if this is a universal thing or not, but at every school dance I've attended, everyone starts kind of jumping up and down in a big group, which I totally know what that. Even at weddings, anything.
It's like it's not a mosh pit, but it's like a very gentle
everyone's
mosh pit.
Jumping, but then you always have like those stupid boys that are just like running into everyone
and chest bumping everyone.
Yeah. Which I used to love. Fun fact about me. I used to love, like, once they hurt one of my friends, then obviously Mama Bear Taryne came out. So I would wait until they were high in the air and then I would just shove my body into them so they would like lose their balance and fall on the floor. But then I just keep acting all cute and innocent and dancing and they never knew that I just straight up like clothesline them.
Yeah, just didn't see you coming.
No one saw. No one saw. So anyways, do you know what I mean? Yes, we do. Anyways, Maggie and I were doing the whole jumping up and down thing when I heard her scream. I look over and Maggie is attached to the girl in front of her. Upon further inspection, I see that Maggie's braces had got stuck and intertwined in the girl's hair in front of us. Not only was her hair very stuck, but the girl in front of us had a very elaborate updo in which just made the whole situation so much worse. Before the girl in front of us had noticed that there was something hanging from her bun, she kept jumping, just dragging Maggie along with her. Once she noticed, the three of us worked our way out of the mosh pit to try and set Maggie's face free. Even though Maggie was mortified at the time, we both die laughing about it when someone brings it up. Love you girls. Love, Anonymous.
Oh my gosh.
I've never had braces, so like I don't know what that's like.
You never had braces?
No, I had Invisalign when I was like in my 20s. My grandparents got it for me. But yeah, I never had braces.
Lucky. What is that like? Yeah, I would get stuff caught in my braces all the time. There were so many times, you know how you like throw a sweatshirt on?
Your sweatshirt would get caught on it?
Strings from my sweatshirt would get caught because I didn't
Why
think
was your
to
mouth
like
so open.
It would just be like, you know, my mouth wouldn't be open, but my lips would be parted possibly. And it happened multiple times. But there, I mean, it was never during a dance, but like I've been hit by girls' hair a lot. I feel like it would happen at Disneyland, in line. It would happen, you know, just standing in groups with friends, like dancing. Obviously, that would happen a lot. But especially like the girls with the super long hair. Yeah. They'll whip that back and forth with completely, just like completely unaware of anyone being around them and just smack you in the face. And it's just like, wow.
You know, there was one time that I used to go line dancing all the time.
She did.
And this girl had
That's when I met
hair. You. Yeah. This girl had hair, no joke, down to her knees. And I'm like, one hand, I'm like, good for you. But also in a crowded dancing floor where there's lots of spins.
And that's also like belt length.
You have to be aware. Dude, she would spin and her hair would wrap around my body. And because I'd be sweaty from dancing, it would just like it would like slap and then like, and I remember there were so many times I would get so heated because I'm like, okay, your hair is beautiful. It's your right to have long hair, but like, I'm going to pull it. Mad.
I would have a hard time.
Yeah.
Also, like, imagine like dancing with a guy who, especially line dancing, has a like big ass belt buckle on.
Yeah.
Her hair had to have gotten caught.
It had to have been dangerous, but she didn't seem to mind. So do your thing, girl. No, but I've talked about this before. I had a guy one time, I was dancing with him and my friend was across the dance floor and she looked just like mortified and was like pointing. And then I kept turning around, but the guy was like, I couldn't see him. He kept like moving too. And then finally, like he grabbed my head and my hair had gotten stuck in his lip ring. So she said I was just like dancing, like flipping my head around, and he was just like in pain, like trying to stop me. So I can relate in that regard.
Oof, wow.
I was bun girl.
Fun girl.
Okay. Anyways, is there anything we need to like update the people on?
No. How you doing, Taryne?
I'm good. My hair's like really red again. So
Taryne
that's
dyed
fun.
her
I
hair.
feel like a new person.
She has been a redhead for a while, but she's like back to like fiery red.
I'm fire. It usually brings out a spicy side of me every time I like re-dye my hair.
I would agree with that.
So yeah, she's feeling spicy. She's
feeling herself.
Ready to take on the world. You know, what's left of it. That's so accurate.
That's very accurate.
How about you, Ash?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Doing good. Hanging in there, you know.
Cool.
Got my second vaccine shot and it knocked me out.
Yeah. She was unwell. I can attest.
Knocked me out for a full like almost over 24 hours.
Yeah.
But like anyways, fever, chills, body shakes and aches and all the things. So it's so weird though. Like I woke up today feeling great.
Yeah.
It was I hit once I was done and I feel great today. So
it was funny because on my end, she like came home and she was like, I feel fine. And I kept asking, because I've heard everyone say like they get really sick.
Yeah.
So I kept asking, I'm like, hey, I don't have anything planned today. If like you need help. She's like, I feel great. She like went out, was like doing stuff. And then in
completely
the middle
unbothered.
of the night, our hallways are like across from each other.
Yeah. Oh, if you guys don't know this, our bedrooms are literally across the hall from each other, and we see each other. Yeah.
So I hear her just like fumbling around, like, and Ashley's more of like,
and let me tell
a purposeful person.
1 o'clock in the morning.
And then I, you know, when people are sick and they breathe, like they'll be like, like that, like sighs. I kept hearing those like sighs and like almost like it sounded like you were in pain. So I kept listening because I was like, is she okay? But then eventually you like settled down. But the next morning I walked in, I was like, because you looked rough.
It's so funny because I went to bed so confidently thinking I wasn't going to get any symptoms because Alicia had already gotten it and it had already hit her pretty hard and I hadn't. So I was like, we're going to skate past this whole thing. We're going to be fine. And then, you know, woke up at 1, body shaking, chills. I was sweating. And my stomach hurt so bad. I genuinely thought I was going to throw up. So anyways, Taryne walked in and I just was a mess.
She was unwell.
I was laying in bed, couldn't move.
But I got you egg bites.
But she got me 2 egg bites.
2 egg bites.
Can we all just agree? One thing of egg bites is not enough.
It's not enough.
Why?
It has to either be like a snack.
Every time Taryne goes to Starbucks, if I'm feeling some egg bites, I'm like, hey, can I get egg bites? And can I get 2?
2. I'm like, I know by now. I know
2, please.
All right, ready? I'm gonna spike everyone's senses right now.
Oh, okay.
Just take a deep breath. Mango, rose, pear, eucalyptus. What's your favorite?
I'm gonna go with eucalyptus.
See, I would go mango. But these are just some of the amazing scents available with Function of Beauty's customized shampoo and conditioner.
Guys, if you don't already know, which I feel like you do if you've been listening to this podcast at all, we're big fans. Function of Beauty creates unique formulas based on a short but very thorough quiz that you can take online to give your hair everything it needs to look and feel its absolute best. Function of Beauty fans like Taryne and myself are absolutely absolutely wild about the fragrances, and for good reason. Your hair has never smelled so amazing. You can try the tropical mango, sweet peach, crisp pear, or subtler scents such as lavender, rose, and eucalyptus. I felt like I had to say it that way. If fragrance is not for you, that's totally okay. You can get the unscented kind as well. I personally did a melon scent for my shampoo and conditioner, and I got it in a light green color, kind of like a sea foamy green. Taryne, what colors did you do?
Mine's like a cool, like orangey, corally type color.
And the reason Taryne and I love it the most, if I'm going to be honest, is because the bottles have our names on it.
Yeah.
She can't steal mine. I can't steal hers. So basically, you just get to turn your beauty routine into an aromatherapy session.
Love it. Go to functionofbeauty.com/advice to take your quiz and save 20% off your first order. That applies to their full range of customized hair, skin, and body products. That's functionofbeauty.com/advice to let them know you heard about it here and to get 20% off your order. functionofbeauty.com/advice. All right. So like I'm one of those people who like, I have to eat breakfast in the morning or else I feel like I'm going to puke.
Same. Don't talk to me if I haven't eaten.
Right.
Rule of thumb.
And my problem is I don't always have time or energy to cook in the morning. And so I end up just like driving through like fast food or something. And after a few days of that, I'm like, I'm unwell. I'm unwell.
I'm not okay.
But I will say that I have been obsessed lately with Daily Harvest and just the ease of like making a healthy meal within seconds.
Oh my God. I have had their smoothie cups.
Yes.
I have had their frozen broccoli cheddar bowls.
So good.
I also had their pesto and sun-dried tomato bowl recently. So freaking good. Guys, if you don't know anything about Daily Harvest, let me educate you for a second. Daily Harvest is undeniably delicious, clean food without the prep. Daily Harvest never uses preservatives, added sugar, or artificial anything, including their recently launched almond milk, which is made of only almonds and a dash of sea salt. That's it, people.
Oof.
No sugar? Are you kidding me? That's unreal and unheard of. This is super convenient because I'm always stocked up whenever I need almond milk for my smoothies. So again, guys, there's no need to overthink any of your meals for the week with Daily Harvest. Smoothies for breakfast, crisp flatbreads for lunch or dinner, and food that's perfect for cooler weather, like their perfectly roasted harvest bowls and soups.
Get started today by going to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code ADVICE to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code ADVICE for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. Dailyharvest.com. Should we like get into the podcast? Okay.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start us off with my story for today, which, guys, I really like this one.
Oh, okay. So I went to Hawaii and someone recognized me from the podcast. I didn't even tell you. Oh my gosh. And of course, okay. If you're listening, if I ever forget anyone's name, you should not take offense because no joke, I'll have people introduce themselves to me and within 5 seconds, I've already forgotten.
I don't even know my friends' names.
And okay, accurate.
To be honest.
So please, I'm so sorry, but there was a very sweet girl at Starbucks and as we're talking or I was ordering, she was like, I'm so sorry. Can I say, are you Taryne? And then she told me she listened to the podcast and I went to that clothing store Nectar and the girl who was ringing me up too was like, oh my gosh, I love your podcast and I love you both. So sorry about your names, but I love you.
I love when
Isn't
it's
that cool?
because of the podcast.
Remember when we went
to Mammoth and the girl there recognized us from the podcast? I got so excited when that happened. I was like, from the pod?
I think I'm famous.
It's happening.
Okay, cool.
It's happening.
Cool. Go ahead. So just solid. Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Okay, this one is titled, I'm going to go ahead and say the title because this is what drew me in. Sleeping in the same room as my in-laws.
Okay. Well, okay.
Ooh, yeah,
sure.
Let's dive right in.
I mean, are we
Hey, Ashley and Taryne. First, I just want to say that I absolutely love your podcast. I found it last summer and listened to it every day while I was working. I'm mostly caught up now, and I usually listen while I'm running. It really does make the time go faster. I love that. I don't think I could listen to us banter while I run.
Oh.
If it's not full hype house music, I can't run.
Oh, well, yeah, that's accurate.
My body won't work that way if I don't have like hype music.
Yeah, same.
But here we go. I'm sure you are very confused about my title, so I'll just cut to the chase. It's true. ... I'm faced with a situation where I may have to essentially sleep in the same room as my boyfriend's parents. For a little background, I am from Saskatchewan. I've heard of it before, but I don't. Okay. I am from Saskatchewan, Canada, and my boyfriend lives in Alberta, Canada, about 6-hour drive from my home. We have been dating for 2.5 years and have talked about our future together. So you get the idea that we are pretty serious. We met in college, but my program transferred to a university in North Dakota, causing us to be long distance. It has been really hard doing long distance with him, and it seemed like there was no end to it because once I moved, we still would have been long distance. My boyfriend's parents were kind enough to offer me a room to rent in their house for super cheap if I wanted. I really wanted to take the offer because I couldn't imagine spending the summer long distance, only for me to move back to North Dakota for school again. But it would mean changing around a lot of things in my life. For one, I did not have a job there, so I would have to start looking right away. Secondly, I currently am sharing a car with my sister, so if I was going to move to a new city, I would need a car of my own. And thirdly, I would possibly let my family down by telling them I wouldn't be around for an entire summer. Ooh. I was stuck with a super hard decision of either putting in the work to move or choosing to do the summer long distance with my boyfriend. After weighing the pros and cons, I ended up deciding that I would try to move. I was very anxious about moving for a long time while I was job hunting and car shopping. I've never been one who deals with change well, but I also knew I was at a point in my life where I really needed the change. Amazingly, God provided me with both a car and a job within 2 weeks. She puts in all caps.
2 weeks?
Hello.
Jeez.
Man. I was going to say something, but then I also want to wait. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I've never fully shook my nervous feelings about moving, I started getting really excited for the summer. Well, ... that was until now. You see, my boyfriend's parents own a lot of houses that they rent out. They had plans to rent out their current house and move into a different one, but ended up getting themselves in a tricky situation. I don't fully understand all of the exact details of the situation, but essentially they have no place to live for May and June. And I was supposed to move in there in May. They are looking into getting an apartment and temporary housing, but the apartment they would get will basically be a hotel room. This means my boyfriend, his parents, and I would all be sleeping in one room. I don't want to sound ungrateful or rude, but truthfully, I am so angry. I turned my life around so that I could take the big step of moving, and now I won't even have a closet to put my clothes in. I don't know what to do. I can't change my mind about moving at this point. I want to live in the same city as my boyfriend, but I can't get over the fact that I won't have any privacy or space to myself, and I can't afford to rent a different place. The worst part is that I'm starting to feel angry towards my boyfriend, which I know isn't fair because it is definitely not his fault. Maybe things will work themselves out and it won't be so bad. The summer I had planned feels like it's all just falling apart around me, and I feel like a fool for leaving my perfectly fine job and house. I don't know. I'm just angry and disappointed. Any advice you ladies can give will help. Thank you so much for reading this, Anonymous.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah.
So essentially, recap. She had a great house. Mm-hmm. She had a great job. Mm-hmm. Wanted to see her boyfriend for an entire summer. Quit her house, left her job, was going to move in with boyfriend's parents and rent a room, but then they ended up renting the entire house, and we'll have to get an apartment and share that with 4 people.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So like in my head, I was like, well, if you love him, if he's the one, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
But then I've tried to picture myself living in a situation like that.
I feel like
I can't see me doing that.
You would have a much harder time than I would.
Taryne would probably thrive and have the best time. I was like, oh, it's fine. If it's him, if it's the guy, then like that would be fun and worth it. But then I literally like pictured myself and I inserted it into like an apartment with in-laws. And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to, because she doesn't really touch on their relationship as much.
With the
so
in-laws,
it'd be interesting if like you have a good relationship. I mean, here's the thing. We're all so different, right? So like me, I hear that and I'm like, I would choose that over having my perfect house and job, because I would be like, I just want to be around you. And I would go into it with more of a mentality of like, it's summer camp. Like we're going on vacation. This is not normal life, but I'm going to make the best of it and get creative with, like what we do. If that means like we're always taking walks, or we're having dinner at parks, or we're, we have different nights where like, okay, like you guys always go out Friday nights, so we have the house to ourselves. We go out Saturday nights, so you can create some type of like
schedule.
Yeah, like a schedule and a situation. It's kind of like in preschool. A lot of our classrooms at some of the schools I worked with, we had 2 classes that shared one room. And what we would do is we would schedule the entire day for like, so they would go out and do PE while the other class did circle time, and then they would like switch. So you're still getting all these fun activities in, but you're just smart about how you schedule so that you can still have like independent time, and there's not just too many people in one space,
Yeah.
So I think you first need to, she hasn't accepted the situation.
No.
So I think first you need to be like, okay, it is what it is. And life is so much bigger than like us stressing about stuff. So accept and be like, this is going to be a whirlwind. It's going to be interesting, but I accept it because I want to be with him this summer. And then from there, get into like strategic mode and start planning, Yeah,
I love that. I love what Taryne said about making the schedule. I do think it's crazy how you were given a job and a car within 2 weeks. And I'm not saying this is like, proof to do anything, but I'm very much a person where it's like, if the door opens, then it's kind of a sign.
Yeah.
I've lived my life kind of by that. And I'm like, oh, we'll try. And if things just like fly open for me, then I feel like it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So in my head, that was what I was going to say earlier. I was like, oh my God, you had nothing, and then all of a sudden you have a car and a job within 2 weeks. Like that in my head would be like, oh, you should go then.
Yeah.
Obviously this is unfortunate, and I'm going to go ahead and assume that you've looked for apartments too, because if you haven't, then I would highly recommend that you try to find
about it being too expensive.
Yeah, maybe there's, I don't know.
Also, like, it sounds like this is not a like, for sure the entire summer this is our situation. Like the parents are trying to figure something out.
They are trying to figure something out.
So you never know. Like it could just be a month or a few weeks.
Right.
But
I don't know how involved you are in that, but like I would 100% keep looking for a 2-bedroom, because that would change everything for me.
Oh, fully.
And yeah, obviously if worse comes to worse and you are in a 1-bedroom apartment with your in-laws and your boyfriend for an entire summer, then honestly, Taryne, what she said is the only possible like thing to fix it. I would schedule my life almost opposite from the in-laws. I would have an intentional like family day, every couple, days or whatever. But for the most part, I would be on my own, doing my own thing. I'd come home later and, I would need space. If I wasn't getting it, I know I would have a hard time.
Oh, fully.
So I don't know what kind of personality you have, if you're more like Taryne or if you're more like me. If you're more like me, I would definitely give yourself some like intentional me time separate. Because otherwise you might be rude.
Yeah. And also
I think that's what would happen to me.
Like think back, like pretend you're like in high school again and how creative you had to be to hang out with a guy. Like I remember like Amazon has so many fun car things. Like get like a cool like light thing for your car, and then have your laptop and like get like the trays that go over your steering wheel, and like do fun stuff. So where you can like drive and like have date nights in your car and like watch a movie, and like
even if you're in the driveway.
Like that's what I'm saying about just like find creative outlets and use this as a time to be like, oh my God, let's just have fun. Like we have 2 months or however long the summer is, 2 months ish, to just like let's be young and stupid. And if we have to sleep on the floor, if we have to like picnic everywhere, let's just have fun.
Yeah, go camping.
Yeah.
You're in Canada in the summer. Like that's the best time to be in Canada. Like I would go camping almost, once a month.
Yeah.
And go like spend a full weekend, just the two of you guys.
Yeah. And it's not forever.
Like
it's a summer, whereas like it's not like you're moving in and you're like, I don't know when we're gonna get out.
Also,
like,
if
there's an end date.
If you do this and you get through this, I think you found your man,
right?
Like I think that is like that is a sign that you guys can get through anything. It's like couples that got through COVID.
Seriously,
it's like okay,
but also like go into it like y'all need to have a keyword of like I need space. You
Pineapple.
need to sit separate with your boyfriend and come up with your stuff, but also sit with all four of you and be like, hey, let's be
Family
open with
meeting.
communicating. Like if we get on your nerves, tell us. If you get on our nerves, we'll tell you. Let's have like an open flow. Otherwise,
maybe
like
a chore chart.
tension might. Girl, I thrive on a chore chart.
That is my we need a chore chart. So anyways, Anonymous, I you know what? I am pumped for you.
Yeah.
I feel like this can be it'll be rough, but I feel like it might actually be one of your favorite summers with your boyfriend, making the most amazing memories.
You hear people all the time like, remember when we had like no furniture and we were just on the floor? Like that's so cool.
Yes, that's one of the best times to be alive. So I would just freaking lean into it. But obviously,
good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
You got this, but like we're praying for you.
We're like hyping her up so much, and we're like, good luck with that.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So when it comes to car and home insurance, we all deserve better,
don't we?
We deserve better.
We do.
And we were so pumped because we partnered with Gabby Insurance and put our policies to the test. And it literally, do you know what Gabby stands for, Ash?
Tell me, Taryne.
It's GABI. It stands for Get a Better Insurance.
Oh my God.
Right? And I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to anything to do with like finances, insurance, all that stuff, it's super intimidating for me.
Oh, for sure.
But the process of going through their website and getting your quote was so easy, and I was shocked that like I could do it. And I know that sounds like an insult, but it's true.
It's definitely one of the more adult things that you have to do in life. That's always a bummer. Guys, Gabby Insurance is the one true comparison platform with real rates. They can give you an apples-to-apples comparison of your current coverage with 40 of the top insurance providers like Progressive, Nationwide, and Travelers, all in one place. You can use your current insurance information to get started, and in just minutes, you'll be able to see quotes for the exact same coverage you currently have, and it's completely free. Like Taryne said, this is something that all of us have to do as adults. I've always been horrible at stuff like this, but using Gabby was super quick, super easy. It took me less than 10 minutes.
Which like everyone has 10 minutes,
Honestly, it was super user-friendly and quick to the point. And guys, I am just mortified to tell you how much I am currently saving now. Because it just goes to show how much I was overpaying before. But let me just tell you, it was a lot. It was a lot. Gabby customers save $961 per year on average. And you know what? Taryne and mine's favorite part is that they'll never sell your information.
Yes.
So no annoying spam or robocalls. Can I get an amen?
Amen. So put your policy to the test like me and Ash did and get a better insurance with Gabby. It's totally free to check and there's no obligation. Go to gabby.com/advice. That's GABI.com/advice. One more time for those in the back, gabby.com/advice.
I don't know about you guys, but cooking from home is a struggle for me. I always have to like prep myself, hype myself up to make a home cooked meal. And something that has come in clutch this last year has been Green Chef. You guys already know this about me, but I'm a very healthy eater. I love eating clean. I love eating sustainably, and I love doing the most for my body. I'm very, very strict, and I love having just plain protein and veggies. Green Chef has a ton of meal options, but there is a specific meat and veggie one that is just right up my alley. Green Chef makes eating well easy and affordable with plans to fit every lifestyle. Whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, or just looking to eat healthier, there's a range of recipes to suit any diet or preference. Also, if you're keto, Green Chef is the first ever keto meal kit on the market. It makes sticking to a low carb lifestyle easy with recipes averaging only 14 net carbs each, people. That's so low. And then you guys already know, but Green Chef is the most sustainable meal kit, offsetting 100% of its direct carbon emissions and plastic packaging in every box. So you can feel great about what you're eating and how it got to your table. When I got my Green Chef meal kit, I was so excited. I called all the roomies to the table and I made them my protein and veggie meal, and they were ecstatic. We went with steak because your girl loves steak, and all the roommates approved. So that's a big deal. So UA fam, don't wait another second. Go to greenchef.com/90advice and use code 90advice to get $90 off, including free shipping. Again, go to greenchef.com/9090advice and use code 90advice to get $90 off, including free shipping with Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
All right, this is called I'm Hiding from My Roommate in My Own House.
Oh.
I actually wrote this. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Dead. It's funny. So
Imagine.
You guys probably think I do.
Yeah.
We hate each other at this exact moment. No, I'm just kidding. But it's funny because I grew up with all brothers and my room was like just my sanctuary. Like I loved hanging out there. And I always had my door closed for either the reason of like, if I was ever changing and I didn't want someone to see. And then once I got Charlie, it was to keep Charlie in my room. So I am just used to like doing a lot of stuff in my room and I always have my door shut. Whereas Alicia and Ashley are very much like they roam the entire house and their doors are always open. It's
Growing
never like
up,
a thing.
Our rooms were next to each other. And my parents' room was at the very beginning of the hallway. Mine was at the very end of the hallway.
Yeah.
So my dad never came down to like our side of the bedroom unless it was like something intentional. He never had to walk past my room for any reason, which I know your parents would have to walk past your room.
Everyone has to. Anyone who's going to a room had to walk past my room.
Yeah. So I feel like me and Alicia kind of owned like the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
And both of our doors were just always open. And then me and my sister are super, super close. So she was always in my room. I was always in her room. It's just how it was. And it's how it is to this day.
Yeah.
And me and Taryne, you guys are, everyone listening is probably going to laugh because you're either me or you're either Taryne and you're only going to relate to one of us. But obviously Taryne moved in 2 years ago. And we still struggle with this to this day, even though it's much better than it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
But she lives her life with her bedroom door closed. And it takes everything in me to not take it personally. I'm like, oh, she doesn't want to be bothered. Yeah. But it's the exact opposite.
Oh my, because I remember there was one time where I was like, whereas me, I'm sitting in my room and I'm like, all I hear is you guys like hanging out 24/7. And I'm like, why don't they ever talk to me? Or like, why do they always only say goodnight to each other? Like, I live here too. So one time we had a talk and I was like, I just feel like left out. And you guys were like, oh, we thought you were mad.
I was like, well, then open your door. Like, let me know that you want that.
It's so funny. So now like Ash comes in my room like way more often, or I'll just yell out my door and I'll be like, what are you guys talking about? Yeah. And then they're like, oh, like, hey, it's just so funny.
It's hilarious.
Wow. Apparently we just wanted to talk about that. Anyways. Okay.
I'm still not over it.
You're still not over it.
Clearly.
I got a gate. I need to start putting that up so the doors
start
open.
doing that.
I know. It's so true. But also I'm constantly editing little kid videos and that's not like a sound many people want to hear.
Yeah, but I can play music or I do whatever. I'm good. Okay. I use my headphones all the time.
You miss me? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying if you want to be more involved in my life, I would easily talk and come check in on you more if the door was open. And obviously I can come over more often too, but like I'm just saying it would be easier.
Okay. We love learning things about each other.
Growing. This podcast has done nothing but help our friendship.
Next week we're like, the podcast is over. Our friendship has died. Anyways, okay. Hey girls, I really need some unbiased, super honest advice. Which,
oh my God, you came to the right place.
Okay, you asked for it.
Unbiased, super honest.
Yep.
Here it comes.
About this situation I'm going through. So to start off, I met my best friend about a year ago at work. We worked almost every single day together during COVID and became super close friends super fast. Super close to the point she is actually my bridesmaid in my upcoming wedding.
Ooh.
She has always had issues with anxiety, and I've never really had an issue until now. Flash forward to about 2 months ago, she moved into mine and my fiance's house. She needed to move out of her mom's place, so I offered her a spare room. I've noticed every single day she's always mad, upset, or crying about something. It seems that every single day is a bad day to her. She gets home kind of late some days, and I'm usually sleeping by then. So when I wake up in the morning, she usually meets me in the kitchen and begins to tell me how bad of a day she had and just cries about literally anything inconvenient in her life. I feel bad because sometimes stuff happens and it's okay to be upset. But when it's every day, I'm starting to become immune to it. And so bothered by it that I actually will hide in my room until the literal second I have to leave for work. I don't even make breakfast at home because that's just more opportunity for her to come talk to me. I guess I'm really just asking for some super honest advice on how to fix our friendship because it's really going down the drain. Thanks, ladies, for allowing me to write this out and potentially giving me some great advice. Love, Sam. I love how she says potentially because she's like, you could also give me
bad.
some terrible advice.
She knows us so well.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, this is a...
That's tricky.
This is just, I mean, one of the which is why we were so hesitant to move in together too, because so many people have said, I've experienced this. You've never had roommates outside of Alicia, but I feel like you could know, like not all friends can live together.
Yeah.
It's actually very rare.
Yeah. So Alicia's my only roommate I've ever had, minus Taryne. But growing up, we had a family who was a super close family friend of ours. They were going through this moving situation and they needed a place to crash. They stayed with us for like a couple months, a few months. It was great. We had the best time. Much later, they went through a messy split up and the mom and the kids came and lived with us. And obviously, for very obvious reasons, they were not in a great emotional state.
Oh my God, of course.
And it was really hard. Yeah. Because it was a year, first of all, not a couple months. And they were all extremely depressed and very angry and going through so much. And I remember I'm trying to think. I think I was in high school. I remember me and my sister not really knowing what to do.
Yeah, that's young too.
Yeah. And like we had conversations. My mom would talk to us a lot. And me and my best friend who was now living with me would start having these very passive, quiet like fights. And I would start overthinking everything. And it wasn't her fault and it wasn't my fault. It was just the freaking situation and where she was emotionally. But it was so weird how dramatically it brought me down. Yeah. Like so fast. Like I would wake up and be like, is this a good day or is this a bad day? And my whole day would wrap around like where they were emotionally. And it's so weird because in my life now, I feel like the only times I feel like that are when I'm in a big fight with someone. Yeah. Or I'm very upset with someone. Yeah. So the fact that you, Sam, are feeling this way without even having this kind of big friction fight goes to show how unhealthy of a place that your friend is in right now. Yeah. So I feel like inevitably what needs to happen is some kind of conversation addressing.
Oh, 1,000%. And emotions. I think what happens when it's like your home life, it's so crucial. And that's so why you see like kids who grow up in like just messy, unhealthy families have a lot of issues they have to deal with when they get older, because home is your escape, right? Like you have a bad day at work, you come home, you reset. You go hang out with a friend who's being like a butthole, you go home and you reset. So like when you have someone that lives with you and just coming home feels stressful, it's it's a lot. Like it's much bigger than you think it is. And I think that's why when friends live together, they haven't experienced that. Like me and you had to like, there was no more like, oh, let's just pretend this tension doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We had to really quickly come up with a system of how do we address this? How do we move past it?
Yes.
Because we never had to face those things because we always would just hang out and be pumped to see each other and then leave.
Yeah.
You know,
it was like, it was like, it was like dating someone and then marrying them and being in the house with them.
and being like, wow, you're
time.
so much more annoying than I thought you were.
only see them in like the best experiences and the best moments because you're best friends. And whenever you hang out, like it's always fun and it's exciting. But like the truth is life isn't that high all the time.
Yeah.
There's always lows, and there's always lows with the intention of resting for those highs again. And your best friends usually don't see you in those lows, even if it's just resting, you know, it's weird. I feel like they either see you in the extreme highs or the extreme lows, but never in the resting.
So true. Because even when you're really upset, you go to them.
Like if I'm angry or sad, like I would call you and I want you to come over. But it's that resting period where it's like I need this, you know? Yeah. And it's not because of you.
No.
It's simply because I need space.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's weird. I never thought about that before.
Oh no, it's so true. And also like dynamics just change. Like literally me and Ash even had a conversation this morning because the other day I was thinking, I was like, dude, I hang out with my friends, other friends. You are always hanging out with your friends. But I was like, when is the last time we've legit hung out? Like,
oh my God. Yeah.
Just not ran to the store together, not gone to get coffee. Yeah. Like literally a night where we're like, let's get dressed cute and like go out to eat. And so I literally looked at Ash and I'm like, I feel like we need to start like being intentional about like best friend dates, like at least once a month or something.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how much more comes into a relationship once you start living together. And I know that you guys are best friends and you came together during like a crisis period. I mean, COVID brought a lot of people to different places. So you get closer with a person when your relationship starts that way.
Yeah.
But you really have only known her a year. And I mention this all the time, but psychologists will tell you, you can't say you fully know a person until you've known them a year. So I mean, realistically, like you guys are just like to the point where you like know each other. And then on top of that, you throw in living together. Like, I mean, me and Ash knew each other for like 6 years before we moved in,
and
you know?
Even then I already told you guys my experience with having lived with someone before. My biggest fear, and I told everyone this, it wasn't a secret. I told Taryne this. I was like, I cannot lose you like as a friend. So I was terrified.
Oh my God, same.
I was like, I kept going, Taryne's gonna laugh. I kept going, let's try it for summer and let's see how it goes. And then Taryne kept panicking and thinking like I was gonna kick her out. And I was like, no, I just want to make sure that we all feel comfortable.
No, literally.
And that no one gets their feelings hurt if they want like, you know, this to not happen. I called it like a summer contract.
We'll revisit. But then I was at a point where I was like, okay, Ashley, I understand this, but like also, I don't have another place to live. So like, I need you to make a choice.
I was like, so funny. My answer is yes, but I need a plan B. Like we need to know, we need to be safe, you know.
I'm all mom and dad. I guess I don't have a home. Help me, I'm poor.
It was so funny. I was so scared. Obviously, we're doing fine.
Yeah, thriving.
We're healthy, so
we are so healthy.
Honestly, there's been a lot of conversations we've had to have over these last 2 years. Mostly because I don't speak a lot. I just happen to not be very expressive when, you know, when people have a resting bitch face.
Yeah.
I think it's me.
No, yours isn't that. It's a resting, you're still here. That's my best way.
It's a bitch face.
It's not like I hate you. It's I'm looking through you.
And it's never like at Taryne or at Alicia. It's very much just me being in my space and, you know, thinking about multiple things at multiple times. Also, Taryne had to move in. Sorry, we are not talking about Sam anymore. I was going to say Taryne had to move into a house where we always work from home.
Yeah.
And that was something new too.
Yeah.
But we digress from ourselves.
But I will say, I feel like she could be getting tidbits from all the stuff we said.
Yeah.
All this to say, it's so hard because obviously your friend is not healthy. Mm-hmm. And that is a very hard thing to address. Mm-hmm. And while I think when you are friends with someone who is going through something like that, you have to make a choice of either, and I just want to preface this, it's your right to make either choice. And I think sometimes people make you feel guilty or make you feel selfish when you have to create distance for your own health. But I just want to say, like, you need to go into this thinking of all options, because it's like the whole airplane thing. Mm. You have to put on your mask so that you can help put on someone else's. So I think that what I would say, you need to make a decision of like, okay, am I walking through this with her, or is this not something I can handle? If it is something you're willing to walk through with her, mm-hmm. then that's where you need to, like Ash said, like you guys, a big conversation needs to come where you very delicately say like, hey, I love that I'm here for you and I always will be here for you, but I'm having a hard time because I miss us just like hanging out as friends. I miss us laughing about stuff. And to be honest, like I'm kind of concerned about you. Like every time we talk, you're so upset, and I would love to walk through this with you, but like I would love for us to try to focus on some positive and even like to make like fun, intentional time, because like I'm feeling like the heaviness of it, and I'm not knowing how to like navigate it within our house. And I don't want every time I talk to you for us to like I would love to help uplift you and not just like, you know what I mean? Am I making sense?
No, 100%. And coming from a person who has, lived her life as a third wheel, I'm sure it must be hard for your friend to live in a house with you and your fiance as well. So what I would do is I would be like, hey, we're having a girls' day, let's go get coffee, or let's go get dinner, or let's lunch, or whatever. Get out of the house away from the fiance. And I would just look her dead in the eyes and be like, hey, like I'm genuinely worried about you. Yeah. You're my bestie. I'm here for you through thick and thin. Yeah. What do you need from me? How can I help you? What's going on? Like, let's dig into this. However, I do want to say, like, I think all of that should be done, and I think that'll help you a lot. But I do want to say, like, her health isn't, I want to preface it by saying her health isn't your responsibility. Yeah. And you can help her as much as you want and as long as she wants you to. But if she doesn't like accept it or get healthier or meet you halfway or anything like that, I don't know what Enneagram number you are, but my mom is the type of person to just freaking help until she has nothing left, and it'll destroy her. Yeah. So also you want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Oh, but fully. I feel like if you word it like that and you explain yourself and you just say, hey, like I'm worried about you and I can feel it. I'm sure the fiance can feel it. Like it feels like there's a big Eeyore cloud in the house. Yeah. And it's you. And I love you and I want to help you through this. Like, what do we got to do? Like, let's do it, Well, too, I mean, just reminding her like, hey, like I want to be here for you, but like, I don't feel qualified to like address some of the stuff you're saying. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, like I'm having a hard time navigating like how much like, do I take on or what do I say? Mm-hmm. So like, have you thought about counseling? Like, is I'll help you through it. Mm-hmm. So then that way it's not all falling on you, but you have to be careful because it can't keep going the way it is, or else you guys are not going to be friends and it's going to be a really rough situation. Yeah. So I think you should just first approach trying to be like, hey, like, I feel like lately, like you're just upset all the time and like it breaks my heart. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to help you. Like maybe we can start like telling each other like fun things that happen throughout the day. Yeah. And then if something happens, obviously I'm here for you. But like I'd love if we can try to like
flip the narrative a little bit.
Yeah.
And then just be intentional about that. But I think the more that you avoid her, the more she's going to need to tell you stuff, and it's just going to keep creating a cycle.
Yeah.
So I would just I would find, even if you're like, hey, do you want to start meditating with me in the morning, or do you want to pray with me before we go, or we'll have devotions, like whatever. I mean, I don't know where you're at or what of those things would entice you, but even let's do yoga together in the morning. Instead, try to find an intentional fun thing to do and see if that can help even set her day up for good. I would just get creative with it, but you also might need to be hey, we are wanting our own space. I'd love to help you find something, you know what I mean? There's lots of options in this, but I think either way, you just need to have a conversation with her out of love and see from there.
I would be curious if this is, I don't know if this is the first time you're going to be talking to her about this or not.
I don't know
if it is the first time, she could take it really good. She could take it really bad. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if she just breaks down. And because it sounds like she's reaching for help and guidance.
Yeah.
Which you can help her, but again, you can only give her so much. I very much agree with Taryne. I think it might be time for her to find someone to talk to who can actually give her educated plans and steps for getting out of this funk that she's in. So I think it's time for her to find a counselor, and I think you having that best friend talk and being there to help along the way is going to be the perfect scenario.
Yeah. And I think just language too, watching, not being your anxiety is giving me anxiety, but more of saying I want to be here for you, but I don't know how to do that. And so I just feel heavy all the time because I personally don't know how to
navigate,
take this in and help you. And I'm having a hard time processing that, and it's becoming hard for me too.
Yeah.
So, but just not language that makes her feel oh my gosh, you're sad all the time. And I hate it.
Don't call her Eeyore like I did.
Yeah.
God, what was I thinking?
She did say potentially giving me some advice. But I know what you mean.
I was painting a picture.
You said,
you guys get it.
There's a dark cloud and it's you. You did. But I feel like I read that as I know what you're trying to say, and hopefully everyone else did.
But
the house is dark. Someone's Eeyore, and that's you. So get out.
I'm getting so good with conflict.
Ash, you really are.
If you know me, you know. If you
proud
know,
of
you
you.
know. Yeah.
Someday she's just gonna yell at me, and I'm gonna be while I'm hurt.
She's
so
just
proud of
stand
you.
and applaud. She's just gonna applaud.
Yeah, so good. But good luck, Sam. You got this.
Yes, Sam.
Just be very gentle. This is a conversation I would replay and practice in your head and
Write
practice your wording.
Practice with your fiance.
Yeah. And be prepared if she doesn't take it well, that's okay. She doesn't have to. Her emotions are kind of all over the place right now. So that's a very big possibility, but say it out of love.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. I have, this is funny. I didn't know. I was it's making light of something we talked about earlier, but it's still, you got to laugh in life or else. Okay. Why did the can crusher decide to quit his job?
He wanted to quit before he got canned.
Ash?
Was that it?
No, but that would make sense.
Look at me.
I'm proud. You're getting the dad humor.
I'm getting in it, guys.
Proud. No, ready? Because it was so depressing.
Oh my God. Stupid.
So funny.
So dumb. So still to this day, I'm always we end our podcast with a dad joke.
You know what? It's the best part. It's the best part.
You already know. Thank you so much for listening to the pod.
We love you.
This far, you're our favorite. And follow us on all the socials and stuff. We've been having way too much fun with our Instagram. So.
Yes.
Come chat with us on the gram, and we will talk to you guys in the next episode.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Today's episode is brought to you by Green Chef. If you guys don't already know, Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit company. Enjoy clean ingredients you can trust, seasonally sourced for peak freshness. The ingredients come pre-measured, perfectly portioned, and mostly prepped, so you can spend less time stressing and more time enjoying delicious home-cooked meals. And the thing Taryne and I love most about Green Chef is that it is the most sustainable meal kit, offsetting 100% of its direct carbon emissions and plastic packaging in every box, so you can feel great about what you're eating and how it got to your table. So UA fam, go to greenchef.com/90advice and use code 90advice to get $90 off, including free shipping. Again, guys, go to greenchef.com/90advice and use code 90advice to get $90 off, including free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.